Made it in here. Guess what time it is? It's time we start working on the turbo coupe. I am proud to say this little project here, old Crackbird, is now a go. As you can see, I have a really good building block for a restoration right now. Faded original paint and interior, everything is there. There's not even cracks in the dash. Engine, very well preserved and cared for. Snow White, but you're going back to sleep for a little while. First, we need to get it running. And we need to give it a new fuel pump, because the old one is original and has had it. Okay, first things first, let's get the fuel tank out of this thing. Super, super easy. Ever taken a fuel tank out of a Mustang? Same idea. Literally, you can do it in your driveway on jack stands with a floor jack. 2 straps, and you get it down enough to disconnect your connector and your lines. You don't even need to worry about disconnecting your filler neck because it just slides into a rubber grommet that pulls out as you lower your tank. Having very little to no fuel in your tank also makes dropping this down and getting it back in a lot easier. Now, mine was about 3/4 full, and I sucked it dry because that yellow, nasty old gasoline smells like it's so old it has lead in it. Sure, this is really, really clean before you pull that pump out. Our fuel pump really wasn't bad, I don't think. You see the hose ruptured that feeds fuel to the engine out of the tank. Okay, so here's our fuel pump assembly. Ooh, made a mess. Alright, let's get the sock off here. We probably won't be reusing this. Let me just unhook our electrical connections. They can be a little tough. And then we undo our hose. And there we have it. Putting a Mustang Walboro 255 gallon per hour pump in place of the original. You know, just in case I crank up the horsepower. Comes with a new wiring harness that we have to wire in place of those spades. I have run into one small snag. That's because the Mustang uses a sock like this, whereas I need one that hooks up like this to kind of sump out the bottom of the tank. So I think I can pick up one of these from Napa and get, well, a little bit different, but it should work. Okay, got that in. I'm gonna slap it back up in the car. Make sure we lube up the grommet. That way our filler neck goes in nice and easy. Okay, got our fuel tank back in, and she's full of fuel. Let's go see if this bad boy starts. All right, guys, moment of truth. Oh boy! She runs! Now on to the next little stinky project of the old turbo coupe. And why the back seat's out of it. Stay tuned. The turbo coupe has a very, very pungent smell inside of it. And it's definitely rodents. Smell seems to be very strong in the trunk, but it has spread throughout the car. First thing I find in the spare tire wheel is rat droppings and pee. So I'm on the hunt for its nesting place, which I'm pretty sure is somewhere in the back of this car. And I gotta get it out. I'm gonna pull the carpet out, wash it the best I can. Finding stuff. Yeah. Oh man. Going by some of the discoloration here, it looks like they've been nesting down in the center of the car. Probably had a bunch of junk piled in here. This car's been sitting in a garage like most of its life, not getting driven a whole lot, which made the perfect nesting grounds for her. But you can see in some places, like right in here, they just kind of soiled everything, and this is where that carpet was. So I think hopefully this is the source of my smell. Okay, for safe measures, I pulled the back seat out, and guess what? Yeah, I'm gonna be pulling the entire interior out of this car. You can see some discoloration right in here where that's been soiled, or this has been nastified and sitting there. So I gotta get all this insulation out and find some replacement insulation to put in its place. Gotta clean all this out and scrub this entire trunk out with bleach as well. Bleach and water. Okay, let's scrub up a turbo coupe. So here's the main floor covering of the trunk. This has all been soiled. This is no good. I can't reuse any of this mat. I gotta peel all this off and properly dispose of it. You can buy new carpet padding online. First thing I'm gonna use is a little bit of vinegar. Oh, I'm gonna actually use a lot of. Really lay this stuff on heavy. All right, let's hose out that vinegar. All right. A little bit of simple green, don't need much of this. All right, applying simple green now. This will get rid of the vinegar smell and take out any discoloration stains, hopefully. What's left after this will just be there. Once I get done with this process, I should be able to safely handle all this without gloves and a mask. Next, we'll be cleaning the inside of the car out. Okay, inside this truck I got about a 50-50 bleach water mix. I'm gonna scrub this whole entire trunk down with, and then wipe it dry. This is gonna take a while. Let's kind of wipe it dry once we're done, get the best we can. A lot of the staining didn't come up. I even used a little simple green on this. That's there to stay, but it has been disinfected, so that should help. I'm gonna put some odor eliminator in here now to get rid of the bleach smell so my car doesn't smell like bleach. When it comes to animal smells and stains, man, go to Petco or PetSmart, get this shit right here. This works wonderful. It works in your house, it works in your car. Removed all my stained up mat in here, but some of that carpet was kind of infected, so we'll foam that all up. This stuff smells amazing, by the way. I didn't record anything, but I did pull the seats and center console and lifted the carpet. I did find that nothing got past the back seat, thankfully. But I'm going to go ahead and use this stuff on the rest of the car. It'll make the car smell good because obviously that smell is kind of leached into things. Hey look, a dust tornado. Several hours later, smells great in here. I made it out here, and this is after I got all the interior back in. Put it in forward and parked it there, and then it died. And it lost spark. That new fuel pump of mine's working great, but I think it's the pickup coil, that guy right there. So I replaced that. It looks like the previous owner popped in one of these ignition modules not too long ago, so I want to put this back in and see if it starts. All right, feels like deja vu. Oh hey, it runs. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know old school Ford too well like I do General Motors, and distributors aren't really, they're kind of phased out by the time I was becoming a mechanic. I didn't make a video of me redoing that distributor pickup coil because I kind of took a wild guess and just threw that part at it, and I got lucky. That doesn't happen too often. And see, this is where educated guesses sometimes get you stranded on the side of the road. But I made it about a mile. The coil's new, the pickup coil and the distributor's new. Cap, rotor, wires, plugs, they've all been replaced. About the only thing that's left is a little ignition module on the side of the distributor. I'm going to slap one of those in there. I'm just going to keep shotgunning parts of this old pilot. Got some more bad news with the turbo coupe. The TFI module I put in, the Ford did not fix it. But what I did notice is that if I finger tighten this to the distributor, this finger tighten the screws, it'll run forever. You snug these down, it'll die. So it's grounding out the distributor somehow as it warms up. So we got ourselves a little witch hunt on our hands. A little electrical problem we gotta fix. Stay tuned. Today we're going to install a TFI relocation kit on the Thunderbird Turbo Coupe. We've been dealing with some heating issues with that TFI module. This kit will actually work on many TFI module Fords. First we pulled the distributor out, make sure you mark that, and then we're going to remove the old TFI module. We will be replacing that with a new one. Notice that gap there. Here's our kit, the heatsink, new TFI module, and a harness. Harness installed to the distributor. This is some temperature gel. We're going to smush that between the new TFI module and the heatsink. And then we're going to bolt it to the heatsink. Should look like this when you're done. And here's the harness mocked up to the new TFI module. I went ahead and epoxied these wires in because they will fall out. I installed a bracket to the heatsink, and that way I can mount it to the alternator support right here. Okay, so what I did is I went ahead, put this aluminum cover on, and then sealed up all around the wires and the pickup coil connection with some high temp silicone. I just tried to do as clean of a job as I possibly could. You really won't see this once this is in the car. I've now wired the distributor accordingly to the TFI module, and I just went ahead and grounded the harness to the TFI module. Okay, distributor's in. Just got to bolt it down. Then we're going to mount our module right there, and we're going to plug it in. Okay, got everything installed. Got the heat sink with the module. All I got left to do is zip tie all the wires up so they look clean. Overall, it looks like it's a pretty clean setup. And a moment of truth. Well, it runs again. So, just cruising around. I updated my shifter and shift boot. I don't typically drive this car, so of course when I left I forgot to bring a mask, and there's no mask on the car. All my other cars have masks, so I guess I'm just stuck, just me and my Thunderbird. Can't do anything without a mask, can't go in any stores, so oh well. I think that'll be alright. Hey look, my cruise control works. Yay! Overall, it's a fun little car to drive.